All right, my people. This one, now APC Chieftain, neither come and so. Adamu Gaba. Can't destroy APC. Tell them, say, if you want to succeed in 2027, you must take Peter Obi very, very serious. Because Peter Obi is the biggest threat right now in Nigeria. Yes. He tell the APC, Tinubu, and all of them that is currently defecting from their satanic parties to APC just to make Tinubu happy for any reason or any brown envelope that is involved. Telling them that the biggest force in 2027, now Peter Obi, with his followers, the obedience. I'd like us to listen to what Adamu have to say here.
What do you make of the name, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi? Because that name seems not to have left the lips of every single APC member. Is he a threat to the APC?
Of course. You see, they say a snake is a snake. Whether it's a baby snake or a mature snake. The good thing is that once it grows, it will still bite. So Peter Obi is a significant force. It's a threat. He has a massive following, almost like a cult online following, the obedient movement that is acknowledged globally, and that they are determined, right, and they are very organic. So why can't the obedient movement work for the APC? Why don't we have this kind of energy? So I think it's a threat, naturally, you know, based on the way he's moving. And if you look at his inroad, he's even penetrating some part of northern Nigeria, some part of, especially in the north central. So he's actually a threat. And I don't believe in APC we can underestimate any opposition, right? So he might win if you underestimate him. So the best solution is to see how we can contain him as much as possible. And I think we are doing a very good job in containing the obedient movement, you know, because they lack organization, they lack structure, and their core principle is anger, you know, against the status quo. And that once you invest emotion, you know, in a movement, you always lose. You know, you always lose the way. So you must have to be tactical, you must have to be very strategic, and I think these are some of the weaknesses of the obedient movement. And on these weaknesses, we are containing them as much as we can.
So when you say you are containing the obedient movement, what do you mean? When you say you're containing the obedient movement?
When you say containment, right, it means that the same way they are exerting their own strategic imprints, you know, towards defeating our party, we are also countering this strategy, you know, as much as possible by making sure that we encroach into their domain and win. After all, we have, when you look at Peter Obi's traditional domains, where he had a very strong following, he got 4 million votes in the south. He was actually the winner in the southern Nigeria, and then he got 2 million votes in the north. So most of the areas where he had strong impact were now consolidated under the APC. In Delta State, for instance, you can see that. In Akwa Ibom, you can see that. In Lagos, it's all consolidated. The entire Southwest are now completely, comprehensively consolidated. In the Southeast, there is a lot of divisions and structures, and then we have APC governors in the South. It's 2 APC governors, and more are coming. So when you look at all those things, you will see a very clear strategic containment policy, whereby we will make sure that the force we receive from the obedient movement is not repeated in 2027. And
does this strategy containment policy include planting moles in other political parties to ensure that there's an implosion from within these political parties, because the house divided within itself cannot stand?
Yeah, you see, the thing is that there is no any getting into, like APC. I heard so many people are saying that you have people inside the opposition political parties are now implanted as moles to disrupt their internal proceedings so that they don't succeed. That's the thinking, but no, it's not the case. Political party system in Nigeria, especially the opposition, have hardly ever got themselves together. Just check the history. So what we are witnessing in the Labour Party is exactly what we are witnessing in the SDP. It's exactly what we are witnessing in the NNPP, And so many other political parties, for instance, like let me take for example, NNPP, we spoke about the Konkoso. NNPP has only one state, which is Kano. But then they sacked the leader in Kano, Konkoso, and they are even questioning the membership of the Konkosia movement in the NNPP. So you now begin to wonder, why these kind of challenges? So are we saying that these things that have been happening even prior to the 2023 election is actually the result of what we are seeing? Now, if you go back to Abure's case, like in the Labour Party, it's almost the same case. He had several issues with Apapa Labour Party. So these things have been happening even prior to us getting the government, right? Winning the victory in 2023 election. So it is always a problem. There's always an issue with the opposition party. So it's just self-inflicted injuries that they are getting on themselves. And the fact that it's working to our advantage, we cannot go and help them fix the problem. And I guess that's what our president even said. We cannot go and help you fix your problem if you are immature enough to organize yourself as a formidable force to confront us. Then your loss is our gain that is good for us. And that's the issue. The issue is purely internal. It's a self-inflicted injury. And it's to our benefit, so we welcome it.
Okay.
But we are not a party to that situation.
Do you feel threatened by the coalition, and do you feel they have the power to get what will be typically Buhari votes?
Frankly speaking, they are a formidable force and they are a threat. Politically, they are paperweight. Most of them have no strong political value at all. When you look at the list of those ministers that have moved into the ADC, there are people that served in Buhari's government for sometimes 8 years, but they hardly even assisted and supported the same.
So you think a former governor like Nasir El-Rufai doesn't have political capital?
No. Nasir El-Rufai was not a minister under Buhari's government. He was a governor, right? And that,
yes, a former governor, I beg your pardon.
He is definitely a political force, but will not inflict that strategic defeat that people are expecting that the ADC should that ADC should have against the APC, right? But then they are still a force. They are still a threat because they have propaganda advantage, and that same propaganda advantage is what, as I mentioned to you, many governors in the north were able to ride on this propaganda advantage to become governors under the mantra of Buhari. And now that he is no longer there to substantiate and filter who is with us and who is not with us, they may ride on this propaganda advantage, and it will give them a strategic win. To be very candid with you, if we don't do the right thing on time, we will risk losing the entire Buhari's cult following to the opposition ADC. And that is why people like us are sounding the alarm that we need to do something very urgently. Even if they don't have the political value as envisioned, some of them, they have propaganda advantage with them. And you know how propaganda works in politics. Once people have a perception that this is exactly what is happening, and they have internalized and decided to operationalize it, it will go against us. And that is why I said we have to do something very urgently to fix the challenges.
You see, I tell you that, say, Peter Obi a force, and every one of you, including myself, that is supporting this man, we all are force. Now, I know how many times these people don't try me to buy my voice. If I tell you, in case you don't know my value, if APC gets someone like me today for their party, they will be the happiest people. If PDP get someone like me today for their party, they will be the happiest party. Let's be honest. And many of you listening to me right there, if they get people like you for their party, they'll be the happiest people. If they get people like Obedient for their party, they will be the happiest people. How many people actually advocated for these satanic parties? Peter Obi is a force. Yes, if really you want Nigeria to work, let's join heads together to support this man, to give us a better country, not for himself. Yes, let's remove ethnicism and tribalism. Na Igbo man, na Edo man, na this one man. No. Competency. Between Tinubu and Peter Obi, the credibility is very, very clear. This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that's affecting you and I. Take care, guys. And bye for now.